Living in New England, like everywhere, has its ups and downs, pros and cons. Many think of the northeastern United States as a densely populated area of endless, dark, and cold cities. And while New York, Boston, and Hartford might prove this point, the majority of New England is a densely forested string of small towns connected by two-lane roads. True, we do have to put up with some traffic congestion in and around the town centers, but if you know where to go, it is easy to get lost on quaint, twisty roads lined by 300-year-old rock walls. One of the things about the Northeast that we motorcycle riders must come to grips with are the long and cold winters. Typically, we are forced to put the bikes away during the months of November or December and allow them to lie dormant until late March or early April. Of course, this period of hibernation varies from year to year, and as of late, winters are starting later and going longer into spring. But still, there is a point when all but the hardiest riders winterize their fuel and hook up their battery tenders. That day when the bike gets pushed to the back of the garage in favor of the snowblower is a sad day for we bikers. And by the time mid-February rolls around, we are aching to hear the rumble of our engines and feel the wind in our faces. That 4-week period between the middle of February and March is always a hard one as we start to see the occasional temperature reading creep up into the 40s. Some choose those days to jump on their bikes and brave the sand and road salt. But for me, those days are just a tease that will soon be followed with more ice, cold, and possibly snow. I always choose to sit tight and not so patiently wait until the lasting warm-up begins and the rains have washed the roads clear of that corroding mixture of sodium chloride and sand. Some years it takes longer and sometimes it comes earlier, but eventually that glorious day arrives when it is time to push the bike out of the garage, throw a leg over, and hit the starter button. At first, it is always a little shaky and the footing is a bit unsure. The joints are stiff and it takes a few minutes to remember how to work the clutch and make smooth gear changes. But soon, muscle memory kicks in and once again, I am floating over the tarmac and feeling the rush of the cool wind as it passes through my helmet. Taking a deep breath, or maybe two, I remember why traveling on two wheels is such a big part of my life. Today, on this first ride of 2024, I decide to visit some old favorite roads and a popular motorcycle destination in Pomfret, Connecticut, the Vanilla Bean Cafe. Well, on this Tuesday in March, I do not expect to see many fellow riders. The Bean is typically a busy weekend stop along one of the best motorcycle roads in Connecticut, Route 169, that runs north to south along the eastern border of the state. To get to the Bean, I choose to follow back roads through Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and of course Connecticut. One of the best is the tight, twisty street winding its way through a quiet Rhode Island neighborhood called Log Road. While fun to ride quickly, it does have a good number of blind corners, and you just might meet a local hauling a trailer, as well as a few well-placed patches of sand. I have to remind myself to be smart and have fun. I don't want this to be my last ride, so I slow down and enjoy the dance. I have no need to prove anything to anyone or to myself. And it is surprising just how much farmland you will find traveling through what most think is a congested Northeast. Don't get me wrong, up here in the far northern corner of the country, it is more densely populated and it is hard to find any road or byway that has not been settled in some fashion. However, there are still many peaceful ways to meander between small towns and settlements that make up the New England lifestyle. Sometimes when I head out to the Vanilla Bean, I take my standard route, but other times I reverse directions or throw in a few variations. It just depends upon how I feel as I leave my driveway. Along with the Bean, I also like to stop at another Connecticut location along Route 49 called the Econk Hill Turkey Farm. This is a small farm that, yes, raises turkeys, but they also serve coffee, ice cream, and they make some great baked goods like cider donuts, brownies, and chocolate chip cookies. Oh, and they also have some excellent sandwiches that are made with homemade bread. Most of the time I stop here for a pee break and a cup of coffee on the way to lunch, but during the summer I might reverse direction in order to grab some ice cream on a hot day. Unfortunately, on this first ride of 2024, the turkey farm is not yet open for business. I think they open during the first week of April, so maybe next time. It's all good. Leaving the farm, I have another 45 minutes or so before I reach my intended stop. I take the time to relax and I think about the year that lies ahead of me. There's a lot going on these first few months, and I have been feeling a bit overwhelmed. Yep, it happens to me too. Even though I am retired and you would think that time is of no concern, things still happen at a fast pace, and spring cleanup along with home improvement projects must be done before I can think about traveling and exploring. But today, I try to let those things go and just enjoy my time on the bike. Arriving at the Vanilla Bean, I see a couple of other bikes in the dirt and gravel parking lot, a couple of adventure bikes. The rest of the lot is filled with cars, which is typical on a midweek ride. Today, I decided to celebrate this initial re-indoctrination to motorcycling by having a bowl of chili and a piece of carrot cake. As of late, I have been shying away from indulgences such as cakes and cookies, but every once in a while I allow myself to enjoy a little splurge, and what better thing to celebrate than the first rite or ride of spring? As my father would say, life is good. Sure, all of the things that I have to do will still be there, and all of the evils of the world have not changed. But today, I let all of those things go. I focus on the things that are within my power to control, and I let go of all of my anxiety and thoughts of being overwhelmed. I take a deep breath, a cleansing breath, climb back on the bike, and head for home. I am content. I am smiling. I stop worrying about the what-ifs that might lie ahead, and once again, I just let life happen. Ride safe and keep squeezing your lemon.